Thanks and welcome to the news. Sorry for the late start. I'm Kejang Henry at Timber, our top stories. The judicial year 2023 has been opened with the President of the Supreme Court tasking lawyers and heads of courts to track social media criminals and cryptocurrency scammers. And Christians across the world begin fasting in preparation of Easter. They were marked symbols of cross with ash this Wednesday as a sign of fragility, sinfulness, and mortality. Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of 40 days of fasting. Top stories.
Canal International.
Kejang Henry Yatim and our social media handles are open for the news. The President of the Supreme Court has tasked lawyers and heads of courts to track social media criminals and cryptocurrency scammers. Chief Justice Daniel Mokobesone says social media misinformation is a threat to the nation. The solemn reopening of the judicial year saw members of government who were accompanied or saw the participation or the attendance of the Prime Minister, head of government and members of his government, as well as members of the diplomatic and consulate corps alongside other dignitaries of the judiciary. Hyacinth with the details.
As the 2023 judicial year opened this February 22nd, the President of the Supreme Court, Daniel Mokobesone, is worried over the leakages of judicial secrets through new technology and the social media.
On peut donc se rendre compte que les nouvelles technologies impactent sur la vie du droit et de la justice dans notre pays.
We notice that new technology is impacting the law of our country. These three aspects warrant urgent attention: cybercriminality, cryptocurrency, and social media liberty. Scamming is aggravated. Communication of electronic messages and images against human dignity, propagation of false information, attack of communities and religion, defamation and public insult, all this is punishable by the law. Despite public opinions flowing on critical issues, the Supreme Court insists that justice has its rhythms. Justice time is not forcefully that of the public, nor that of the social media users. More seriously, justice personnel get attacked on social media for doing their job. Civilians judging lawyers. And in his submission to the court during the solemn reopening ceremony, the Procureur General, Justice Jean-Claude Awala, reiterated that journalists are permitted by the law to go for information during court hearings, but strictly prohibited by Article 306 of the Penal Code to record or take images except authorized by the judge.
Thanks very much, Hyacinth. A group of disgruntled and renegade Social Democratic Front Party militants, self-styled G27, continues to mount pressure on the party's hierarchy to go back to the original principles of the party. The renegade group met this Wednesday in Douala at a press conference where they said the party is drifting from the philosophy of the founding fathers. Morindi.
Despite dragging the national chairman Nijon Fundi and Co. to the Fundi High Court for the first hearing scheduled for March, the G27 Plus, all scribes of the Social Democratic Front Party, continue to mount pressure on the chairman for him to drop illegal practices and work for a complete restoration of the AZF party. The first ever press conference of G27 Plus held Wednesday changed by party scribes, all signatories to their earlier declarations.
We invited you today for you to bear witness with us and transmit to the Cameroonian public our fight to bring back the daring party, the SDF, to its original goals set by the founding fathers with social democracy. In the reports it came out clear that the real problem was the management style of the national chairman, Nijon Frundi, and the first vice, Honorable Joshua Osi.
Barry Sanwana is part of the SDF legal team, but has joined what he describes as the SDF restoration team. He clears the dust on the court case.
The different proceedings, as I previously indicated, have the same aim: to annul all the illegal decisions that have been taken. One is the procedure of suspension. The second is the procedure to void.
G27 plus militants say they are conscious of the twists that could be at the level of the judiciary, but are comforted by the same happenings in different political parties where other camps emerge victorious.
The SDF members are a grassroots party. The power is given to the SDF through a convention by vote.
They have maintained the boycott of the upcoming NEC meeting scheduled for this weekend. Their fight they maintain is not an OC-Nincho fight, but a fight for the respect of fundamental principles of the party and strict respect of the laws as instituted by the founding fathers of the SDF at its birth in the 1990s.
Christians across the world begin fasting today in preparation of Easter to come up in the next 40 days. And as they kick off with the Lenten period, they marked symbols of the cross with ash on their forehead as a sign of penitence beginning this Wednesday. At the Maria Mediatrix Parish in Etudi, the priest reminded the Christians of Ash Wednesday as a sign of their fragility, sinfulness, and mortality. Beatrice Ngamo reports.
As early as 6 a.m., many Catholic faithfuls were already in church for the Ash Wednesday Mass, what marks the beginning of Lent, the blessing and the imposition of ashes on the foreheads of Christians. The sign of the cross with the black ash on the forehead begins the journey of 40 days with the Blessed Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. A reminder of our sinfulness, fragility, and mortality. That is, dust we are and to dust, as well as our need to be redeemed by the mercy of God.
La cendre pour moi représente qui je suis, parce que déjà je suis né de la poussière.
Là, on doit prendre conscience que nous sommes poussière. Et nous retournerons poussière.
Important for the faithful to accept they are nothing without God, need to reinforce our commitment to self-denial and obedience to God's will. Because as nothing, we should not attach ourselves to things that really means nothing in this world. The message the Christians who attended this early morning Mass at Mary Mediatrix Parish at Etudi in Yaoundé are taken back home as the engagement of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving.
Some 400 cholera cases have been detected in the central region of Cameroon, with 5 deaths recorded so far. The alarming cholera epidemic has triggered an aggressive vaccination campaign in Yaoundé 1, which is the most affected zone. And as the clamor for an effective containment of the spread of the virus or of the disease, so too, Beatrice Ngamo says it will run for 3 days.
The immunization against cholera concerns everybody, while these administrative officials each took a dose of the oral vaccine to encourage the others to do same. This was during the launch of the reactive vaccination campaign against cholera for the central region this Wednesday at GHS Mbalade. The objective is to cover a population of 346,000 persons in risky and most affected zones in the Yaoundé 1 district. Pupils like students took the relay in receiving the oral vaccine. Important to keep them safe from the diarrhea illness caused by the Vibrio cholerae bacterium. In Cameroon, education goes with health. It is not normal to have school children who are always sick. If so, we will not be able to attain objective at the level of education. The vaccination campaign comes as a blessing to the inhabitants of Yaoundé 1, and as such, they should be involved in the campaign. 3 regions are concerned with this vaccination campaign. They are Zamawa, Littoral, and the center.
3 départements de notre région.
It affects 3 divisions: Fungi, Tigawunti 1, Leke division, Atebeta district, and Bam and Kim division,
dans l'arrondissement de Nchui.
Transmitted by ingesting food and water contaminated by the Vibrio cholerae. Imperative to respect basic hygienic rules such as the washing of hands with soap and clean water, washing of foods and fruits properly before eating. With the rainy season not far off, contamination by overflowing sewage. The fear. From this 22nd to 26th February, community health workers will be in the neighborhoods to offer just 1 dose of the cholera oral vaccine.
Thanks, Beatrice. Gamu and quality controllers in Cameroon have been emphasizing on the need for small and medium-sized enterprises as well as small and medium-sized industries to make sure they step up their standards in order to meet with the competitive market. Officials of the Standard and Quality Board or Control Agency were grooming them this day in Douala. Gladys Ambu.
There is no doubt that when goods are of doubtful quality, the producers lose credibility. To be competitive at the international market, therefore, small and medium-sized enterprises and small and medium-sized industries in Cameroon have been cautioned on the need to produce good quality products that meet international standards. Reason for this first consultative meeting organized by the Cameroon Upgrading Office and the Standards and Quality Control Agency in Douala, February 22, 2023, on the theme Standards, Quality and Industrial Subcontracting Opportunities.
Without standard, you cannot have quality. And the objective of the Standards and Quality Agency is to help the Cameroonian market to have quality in all the products that we can find on our market. And we think that to attain that goal, it's really important to have that kind of capacity building with all the stakeholders.
The quality controllers insisted on the constant application of standards in order to build international brand image, reduce costs, effortlessly ensure compliance with regulations, gain access to foreign markets, compete with bigger enterprises, and initiate best practices, amongst others.
You cannot speak about good product without speaking about quality.
Enterprises were encouraged to be in conformity with the rules while disclosing there has been a marked improvement in the number of certifications delivered in Cameroon annually, reaching about 18,000. They were urged to desist from importing poor quality products or raw material to avoid Cameroon being a dumping ground for poor quality goods.
The Chamber of Agriculture in Douala has actually laid the foundation stone for the construction of a more than 15-story building. And of course, today inaugurating a new edifice that will host members of the Chamber of Agriculture. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Gabriel Bairobe, has called on all to make good use of these facilities. Morindi.
The Chamber of Agriculture was set up to defend the interests of producers in sectors of agriculture, fisheries, livestock and forest. It will also give them the opportunity to partner with investors and facilitate the training of farmers. The inauguration of the building, which stands tall in Bonanjo, Douala, by Cameroon's Minister of Agriculture this February 22, 2023, marks years of milestone investments.
It's a very important tool for our agriculture in terms of modernization, in terms of capacity building, and in terms of representative of the made in Cameroon, not only in the nationwide, but in international and foreign countries.
Leke Felix is a regional secretary. He throws more light on his goals and projects in the near future geared towards revamping the concerned sectors.
It's within the vast program that the Chamber, CAPEF, is trying to carry out both at the headquarters in Yaoundé, in the 10 regional headquarters. This will go a long way to improve the working conditions and improve the output of the workers of CAPEF.
The inauguration of the building was followed by the laying of the foundation stone of a 13-story building, which, according to the Minister of Agriculture, will also raise funds for the sustainable development of agriculture. Farmers, livestock breeders, and those directly in connection with the Chamber of Agriculture expressed the need to see the chambers grow to an unexpected level where all sectors will benefit from its growth. And end of the road for the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon for Australia 2023 as they saw their dreams shattered this morning by the Portuguese. The Lionesses lost to the Portuguese 1-2 despite the dismal outing of the Lionesses. Bookmakers hold that it was a wonderful performance by the Lionesses of Cameroon. And that brings us to the end of the 6:15 news. I've been Kejang Henry Atembe, thanking you for your attention. Coming up is the brief all the way from Yaoundé with our colleagues in the studios.